So, for those that were here last year, do you remember our lightning talk about lightning? Yes. Yeah, that's not happening this year. Oh, sorry, we get a new one. Yeah. So, without further ado, are you ready? It sounds like it's on.
That was a good song.
Hey, there we go. Sounds good. All right, so Jeremy, take it away.
All right, how many were here last year? Okay, quick recap. Great. All right, so before we get into things, I like to always get in and thank the sponsors. So this is the people for this year, right?
Yeah, let's play. Sheep Tip?
Sheep Tip, Malt Whiskey. Yes.
Are they here this year?
They're not here this year. I couldn't find any.
But
I enjoyed it a lot last year.
Yes, you did.
Specifically, I want to thank Constant Contact for sponsoring for probably about 15 minutes, $30 glass of scotch last night. I got some to go. But seriously, thanks for the happy hour, all the sponsors for putting this thing on. And if John did remind you, he ran this at a surplus this year. So definitely thanks to John, Kelly, and the whole team. You guys were. This is you, right?
Yeah, it's younger.
Okay.
Younger version.
All right. This is the most embarrassing photo I can find of you online. So congratulations on that.
Yes.
And sorry. Midwest PHP. Definitely thanks for all you guys coming out for this. So as the closing keynotes always go, we try to summarize all the talks that you've seen previously in case you didn't go to all the talks. So we're going to be discussing some continuous integration of legacy PHP apps that originally said Laravel facades. Here, so I'm not going to do any low blows. With some NoSQL objects, courtesy of Derek Griffins. Virtualized Unix-based WordPress. I don't even know what that sentence means. 4 illegal SMS delivery mechanisms. Unfortunately, there were some problems with the illegal SMS delivery mechanisms, and I'm sure about time, so instead we're going to talk about clouds. And if you have a problem with this, you can deal with it. All right, so clouds are these wonderful things. I believe this is New York City, but if you've looked up in the sky any time within the last century, you probably would have seen them. They would not be here much longer thanks to pollution. But they're also very international, so even our friends in Europe, are there any friends from Europe here aside from Derek? There was one guy at the bar last night, he's probably back on the flight already. They're pretty international, they're even in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. This is us, right? That's your highlight, congratulations. It was a very boring photo, so I thought it was accurate. Additionally, the clouds are also responsible for some rain, so sometimes you might want an umbrella for that. Get used to seeing this guy, we're going to see a lot of him this time. So this is actually fog, so we're going to skip right through that. So basically, clouds and lightning and freedom, contrasting to lightning, which is kind of an enemy of freedom. And clouds are also very historical, so they've been around for a while. They're probably going to be here for a little bit longer. So I'm going to talk about a deviation from last year's lightning talk. We're going to talk about some residential implications. I actually have a proper outline for this talk. So some residential implications of clouds that previously a lot of TVs tend to make their residence up there, and they're not alone. They have some cherubs and angels and things like that. Additionally, if you're a Star Wars fan, there's the planet Bespin. It's kind of hard to drive to, so we have to take these things. And additionally, if you're a fan of Chrono Trigger, we have whatever world, you probably remember what world this is. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, this is the Chrono Trigger. If you win that prize, maybe you can play it yourself. And this is, let's get into real life. This is Dubai, which is actually more of a fantastic fantasy city, but there's some things above the clouds there going on. And there's, just bring it down, you can have clouds in your local neighborhoods as well. So clouds is a transportation medium, not just living there, but what cloud are you going to park in your garage? So I have no idea what this is, but I was able to find this via Google. This is apparently not one of the Lego prizes we're giving away. This is a horrible Lego set. Yes, we're giving oh, we do have Star Wars here. Excellent. Okay. Additionally, we have cloud cars, and you're thinking, well, Jeremy, this is animated. This is not real. But I guarantee you betcha it does exist. And then our friend Tutu. So he flies around in clouds. He's great. Everybody loves him. So better clouds with cloud computing. This is a tech conference, so I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce some technology here. So let's go. This is actually too far back. Let's go back to the PlayStation 1. And here we're gonna. This is some of the original powers of cloud computing with the powers of these graphics. Now, thankfully, we can go to Amazon Web Services, order some new graphics cards, power things up, and get much better graphics. That's fantastic because when you're playing on an HD screen, you really want the higher resolution. Additionally, we can combine this with introducing Bitcoin mining to the mix to actually fund our own Bitcoin mining. And Luke Stokes loves this. Now, this is a tag cloud. If you're playing Buzzword Bingo now, you've probably just won, so mark off your bingo sheet. And some caveats in cloud computing, because we want to be able to do this responsibly, so just be aware of some of the problems with investing in cloud computing. So actual clouds versus cloud computing, what are the problems here? So this is a cloud. This is kind of a dangerous cloud. This shift is probably in for a bad time. And I'm not going to bore you with the scientific details, mostly because I don't know them. Suffice it to say, this is pretty dangerous stuff. And from space, it's actually quite visible. So maybe next year we'll do a space talk and I'll get to the moon. But for now, this is the hurricane action there. And cloud computing versus clouds is kind of a... and when this happens, your internet's break. And that's pretty disappointing. So there's two takeaways to this. One is don't put all your eggs in one basket, so have some physical servers as well. And respect the power of clouds, because some of them are pretty devastating. And now, lastly, operating the cloud. So many people might know what the original cloud operating system is. A lot of people think it's Oracle likes to brand itself as the first cloud OS, but say we know what the actual original cloud operating system is. Windows 95. Thank you. That's pretty fantastic. Unfortunately, later they bundled it with Internet Explorer, and that had some rendering bugs, as you might have heard in the document. Stop supporting Internet Explorer 5. Next, the nutritional value of clouds. I lied. This is actually the last section, or maybe it's not. Nutritional value of clouds. Cloud cookies. So we had a lot of cookies this week. I didn't see any cloud cookies in Minnesota. Maybe next year, John. Maybe next year. This is going to be a real conference. You got to work on it. So clouds are absolutely delicious. I've enjoyed it many a time as well. And the best part about this, other than the clouds, clouds are zero calories. It's got zero everything. I don't know why they still cost money, but the great thing is, since clouds are so lightweight and it's comfortable for anyone's diet, that leaves more rooms for Angus certified beef frankfurters. Now, lastly, okay, I'm serious. This is actually the last one. So developing with clouds, which is takeaways. You don't go home empty-handed. You say, I just saw a bunch of presentations with clouds. I want some actual practical PHP knowledge. So Derek and I have been hard working some PHP extensions. Derek actually doesn't even know this. But we recently submitted a patch to, this is going to be in PHP 6. We ran the cloud function. And this is similar to ran, so Anthony Farrar is not here, so he's not going to tell me how insecure it is to use like these seed values and things about the random numbers. Suffice it to say, this generates random clouds that you can type in your This is quite fantastic. I submitted a pull request to get this in MongoDB, but I don't think they're going to accept it. But this feature is actually coming soon to the YOLO framework. Evan's a certified YOLO engineer. He can tell you more about that. It's the only framework with swag. So I want to thank you for all showing up here, and let's give our sponsors everybody a round of applause. I hope you all did your tests. I'm just going to belabor this photo one more time. Thanks everybody. Get home safely. Thanks for coming.